For 5 hours you remain in hiding, listening to the noise which echo through distant parts of the vessel which has swallowed your ship. During this period, you must eat. But I guess you just grab something. I don't know, an undead shipwreck or something. You just eat something. Gradually you become aware that this mysterious craft is slowing down as if in preparation to dock. Anxious to escape, you leave your hiding place and climb the stairs to the deck above. Over the past few hours, your shock at having witnessed the unholy resurrection of the Lynchian crew has gradually turned to anger. You vow to avenge the souls of the crewmen and draw your weapon in readiness to attack the host of the Karm undead who are standing in rows upon the deck. But before you can act, you feel a shudder run through the steps as the host vessel comes lurching to a halt. There's a dull boom, and then several portals open the surrounding walls, spilling beams of white light across the deck of your captive ship. Scores of the Karm undead emerge from these portals and descend upon the ship like a host of hungry ghouls. You are forced to abandon your plan for vengeance, for there are now far too many of the enemy. Yet all is not lost. In the milling confusion, you seize an opportunity to get away from the ship and escape into one of the many light-filled portals. The portal opens out into a domed chamber where several great orbs of fire-filled crystals mounted on mechanical plinths generate the intense light which is flooding the deck of the captive ship. You cross to a tunnel which leads out of the chamber and follow along a series of dingy ice-caked corridors that wend their way deeper into the bowels of this vast alien vessel. You explore a maze of empty holes where the walls are braced with gleaming crystal girders and pass through countless low-ceilinged chambers that, despite the biting chill, reek of death and decay. At length you come to a junction where the corridor splits in two directions. Do you wish to go left or right?
Left, I would say.
Okay, left.
Yeah, sure left.
The corridor gradually ascends to a high gallery which overlooks a chamber 2 stories deep. A dozen undead slaves clad in silvery robes are busy attending to a vast machine constructed of quartz-like crystals and black metal. Through holes in its side they probe and manipulate long glassy rods which reach into the machine's core. From these holes there radiates a brilliant ghostly light. Do you wish to use Grand Hut Mastery?
Yes.
Yes.
Using your Kai Mastery, you're able to see patterns in the ultraviolet spectrum of light. You recognize that the light which is pouring from the holes in the side of this diabolical machine is very similar to that which normally radiates from the sun, but it is abnormally intense. A tinge of fear runs along your spine the moment you realize that the ghostly rays are a deadly threat to any living creature. Fearing detection by the undead attendants, you hurry from this high gallery by means of a sloping tunnel which descends to an empty hallway. All along the left wall of the narrow passage are glassy portholes that are caked with ice and grime. Vigorously you scrape the encrusted filth from one of these circular windows and peer through it. Your curiosity is rewarded by a stunning sight. Outside of this vessel is a vast subterranean lake enclosed within a titanic cavern of ice. Several iceboats similar to the one on which you set sail from Fort Asgard are moored in a long line at the lake's edge. Scores of undead warriors attend to these ships, and many more can be seen marching alongside the frosty walkways which go all around the lake's shoreline. Quickly, you realize that these ships are part of a great invasion fleet. Constructed by the slaves of Deathlord Ixiatoga, they can only have been built for one purpose: to carry his armies of undead warriors to a land of the living. Memo and Adan were correct. The Deathlord does intend to wage a bloody war upon Magnamund. Yet even the gloomiest predictions fail to estimate just how advanced his plans are.
I also prefer a gummy bear war to a bloody one.
It would at least be different.
Would be very, very different.
Shocked by the revelation of your discovery, you reaffirm your vow to thwart the Deathlord's monstrous scheme. You move away from the porthole and hurry along the hallway in search of a way out of this alien submarine. At the end of the hallway you arrive at a flight of metal stairs which ascend to a heavy bronze-banded door. This sealed door appears to be a recent addition to the vessel. It is secured by a curious combination lock which you recognize to be Dakarim in design. The lock comprises 3 raised blocks, each of which is divided into 4 equal squares. In each square except one there is a number. You encountered this type of lock before and are aware that by tapping the empty square a correct number of times, you will cause the lock to disengage and the door to open.
By the way, I know I should probably have used this one earlier, but we all live in a bony submarine.
Yep. In any case, it's riddle time! Riddle me this, everyone! Back, let's see if they can figure this one out.
Just a moment. 11, 14. It's 10.
Okay, that was quick. Cannot really see the meaning and point, but still, if Givenir says it's 10, I trust in her judgment.
Why do you say it's 10?
Just a moment, I have to check again. 11, 11, 14, 14, 17. Yeah, it should be 10.
Okay, why is it 10?
Now wait a minute, it could also be 13. Then that wouldn't hold up, but it would have with this. 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. That's the same, yeah. And no, 1 less, so that doesn't fit. Yeah, I'll say it's 10.
Okay.
The first one is 11 if you plus 4 with 7 or 2 with 9. The second is 14 if you plus 3 with 11 or 9 with 5. And the next one you have 17 if you plus 6 with 7. So it's 10.
And that is your final answer.
It's mine. What do you say, Warlord?
She might be right.
Elsewise, it's...
I can sort of see what she... yeah, I can see what she's talking about here. I think she might be right, yeah.
But it also might be... Just a moment, let me think. It comes down to from what direction you look at it, really. The first one has 2 in the upper and then 3. And then it's really fall outside of the category that way. And then 7. That's weird. So I can take it, either take it a long jump or something. But then it doesn't fit with 11. So yeah, I'd say 10. It's the only thing that sort of fits a pattern all the way through.
And is that your final answer?
Yep, this time it's my final answer. So.
And it is correct!
Bravo!
Sorry, I
Well
just
done.
got myself a bit confused there.
But still, you are the riddle master here, Givenir. I have to admit that.
Yeah. With a dull clunk, the lock disengages and the heavy portal creaks ajar. Immediately you're greeted by a blast of frozen air as you push open the door and step out onto a viewing platform which is fixed to the outer metallic skin of this huge alien submarine. Away to your right you can see a line of ice boats at anchor at the lake's edge, and to your left you notice a column of skeletal warriors. These are being led by a black-robed Kabbalah, marching in mechanical fashion along a jetty towards the mouth of a tunnel, which leads out of the vast ice cavern. Your keen senses tell you that you have arrived in Ixia, and that the distant tunnel leads to the surface. You commit the position of the ice boats to memory. If your mission is successful, you will be needing some means by which you can escape from Ixia. Then you carefully observe the area immediately surrounding the submarine, and notice that there are only 2 ways by which you can reach the distant tunnel: by the adjacent jetty, or by entering the icy waters of the lake and swimming to the shore.
I wouldn't want to swim in this water.
No, neither do I.
So, the jetty.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Using your camouflage skills to minimize the risk of being seen, you climb down from the viewing platform and grab hold of a steel hawser, which is securing the stern of the alien submarine by the jetty. Slowly you make your way along this great steel rope until you reach the jetty, where hurriedly you take cover among a stack of wooden crates and barrels. The jetty is teeming with undead soldiers who, under the direction of some spindly black-clad creature, are busily transferring materials to and from the open mouth of the submarine. Getting past them in order to reach the shore looks, at first sight, a near impossible task. You are contemplating a swim to the shoreline when suddenly you notice a means by which you could achieve your goal without getting wet. Less than 50 yards away you see a shaggy grey-furred beast of burden, which is harnessed to a wooden wagon. A troop of undead soldiers is unloading shiny metallic containers from the back of this wagon, which they then carry, cradled in their bony arms, into the open mouth of the submarine. Stealthily, you make your way closer to the wagon, and await the chance to climb aboard as soon as the final container has been offloaded. At last the opportunity arrives. You leap aboard and hide yourself from sight beneath a greasy, foul-smelling tarpaulin. After a few minutes you feel jolt as the wagon moves off. Through a crack in its ancient wooden planks, you watch with trepidation as the wagon trundles along a causeway towards the distant tunnel entrance. It enters the tunnel unchallenged by the skeletal warriors who stand guard there, and ascends a gentle gradient to another ice wall cavern. Several passageways connect here from all directions, like the spokes of a giant wheel converging at the hub. And here's a picture of something I described a couple of lines ago. Bit late there, Mr. Picture.
So what are we having here?
Yeah, that really is a very big ship.
Yeah. Also, those eyes, there's... never mind. I'm just speculating about the design.
An undead Dracarum soldier steps forward, takes hold of the shaggy beast harnessed, and leads the wagon towards a stockpile of metallic containers. Clearly he intends to load these onto the wagon for transportation back to the submarine. Fearing discovery, you leap from the rear of the moving wagon and hide yourself among a stack of empty wooden crates. From there you observe two possible ways by which you could leave this busy cavern: by an unguarded staircase in the north wall, or through an open archway in the east wall.
I'm not really trust that archway to be completely unguarded, so I'll go for the first option. Hey, I'm suspicious by nature.
What's the first option?
The unguarded staircase in the north wall.
Yeah, okay, let's take that.
At the first opportunity, you sprint away from the wooden crates and descend the staircase to a closed door. It is a sturdy portal carved from solid rock and banded with strips of bronze. You test it with the toe of your boot, and to your surprise it swings open with barely a sound. Beyond the door lies a rough-hewn chamber lined with racks of ancient crystal spears and swords. Despite the millennia which have passed since they were crafted by armorers during the Age of Eternal Night, these weapons are still a keen edge and gleam like new. Casting your eyes around this weapon store, there appears to be no other exit save the one by which you entered. Do you wish to use telegnosis?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Your advanced Kai skills detect a secret door concealed in the far wall of this chamber. It is finely constructed, virtually undetectable to the human eye, but a close examination reveals a raised pimple of rock positioned at its center. As you reach out to touch it, the heat from your hand activates a concealed catch, and the secret door slides suddenly open, revealing a dark passageway beyond. Do you wish to enter it? Or go back?
Let's just move on. What do you guys say?
I say we proceed forward.
So
Yes, I agree, let's go forward.
Yep, hop to it.
Jeez.
the narrow passageway leads you to a chamber carved from glittering blue ice. Steps have been chiseled into its translucent north wall, a slippery staircase which ascends to a landing positioned high above the ice cavern. As you climb the steps, the sub-zero temperature plummets even further, making you shiver involuntarily despite the combined protection of your platinum amulet and your Magna Chi skills. After a tiring climb, you reach the landing to be greeted by the sight of an unguarded cave mouth. Through its opening, you see a bleak and desolate wasteland of rock and ice. A blizzard is raging, whipped up by a fierce electrical storm that blazes above a distant mountain range. The jagged grey peaks are illuminated by the flashes of the storm's ghostly blue-white fire. After checking your equipment, you reluctantly leave the cave mouth and set off into the raging blizzard in search of the city of Zogon.